Beautiful, aren't they? Yes, the Columbia Classics Volumes 1 and 2 are fantastic 4K collections with the utmost quality in packaging and film quality as well. But what, I ask you, will be a Volume 3? I'm going to go through what I think will most likely be in Columbia Classics Volume 3 right now.
Talk, shop, pop, movies.
Ahoy there, this is Derek, the Convicted Cinephile, and if you're a convicted cinephile yourself, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel down below. On my channel, I like to talk, shop, and pop open, that is, movies and physical media, and today, talk I will. So, as I said, the Columbia Classics volumes are fantastic physical media releases. So happy to get my hands on Volume 1 2 years after it went out of print. That was nice. But anyways, I'm here to talk about what I hope/think will most likely be in Columbia Classics Volume 3. As you can see here, Volume 1. Beautiful packaging. Beautiful. It has Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, Lawrence of Arabia, Dr. Strangelove, etc. Gandhi, A League of Their Own. Brain fart for a second there. And Jerry Maguire. I don't know why I didn't get this. I was in a funk. Anyways, just at a glance, statistically looking at these movies, you've got 2 Oscar Best Picture winners and then 3 more Oscar Best Picture nominees, and then 1 kind of odd duck comedy that everybody likes that is considered a classic nowadays. In Volume 2, we have Anatomy of a Murder, Oliver, Taxi Driver, Stripes, thank you. It's literally written here and I'm blanking on them. Sense and Sensibility, and The Social Network. So here we have, yet again, 5 Best Picture nominees, but only 1 winner, with the odd duck, as I say, comedy being Stripes. So, looking at these, what do I think is going to be in Volume 3? That rhymed. Well, it's going to have at least 1 Best Picture winner and be made of at least 4, I'd say, Best Picture nominees. So I'm going to go through a list of Columbia Pictures that I have written down here that have not been released on a different boutique label or have not been released on 4K already. So it narrows it down quite a bit. So I have like 20 odd movies here, plus some stragglers, plus a few that I think could be that odd duck comedy that's going to get thrown in there that everybody loves. Chronologically, here is what I think could be in Volume 3. We have the original Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, which was remade to Mr. Deeds starring Adam Sandler. That is from 1936, and it is a Best Picture nominee. It's not one that's like super beloved and talked about anymore. It's a possibility, but I don't think it'll be in the set. Next, 1938. You Can't Take It With You is another Best Picture winner. This one, I'd say, just because it won, has a slightly bigger chance of being in than Mr. Deeds, but I still have a feeling they won't put a film in there that's that old. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. All these Mr. movies are making me screwed up. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington was from 1939. So that is pretty old. It's in these late 30s range. So they could do one of these. Not saying they can't. I just have a feeling they won't because Volume 2, the oldest film in there, which also had Jimmy Stewart, oddly enough, was from 1959. So a big 20-year jump there. The next film from 1949, which is another Best Picture winner, All the King's Men, which was remade in like 2006 or so with Sean Penn and a bunch of other people and nobody saw it. But this had a Twilight Time release that is now out of print, which was the same thing that happened with Sense and Sensibility. So I have a feeling at least one of those old Twilight Time Blu-rays is going to get 4K'd up in here. The next one is 1950, Born Yesterday, another Twilight Time release that is another Best Picture winner. So you got 2 years in a row they won Best Picture. Good for them. I think one of these 4 movies will probably get in. I just don't know which one. I'm going to have to think about it. 1966 comes A Man for All Seasons. This also won Best Picture. this is one I think will be in the Columbia Classics Volume 3 set. I'm trying to do like one per decade-ish, because that's sort of what they were doing. The very following year, we have Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, Best Picture nominee. The late, great Sidney Poitier is in it. That can't hurt as far as getting a 4K upgrade goes. This is definitely in the probably realm. I'll have to see if it makes the final cut. 1968. So the following year, we have Funny Girl with Barbra Streisand. I could see this getting in just because it's a musical, and she won Best Actress and it was nominated for Best Picture. But the films are so close together in years that I doubt all three of them will get in. Maybe two from the 60s, because it's a great decade. You can't ignore that. I think A Man for All Seasons, for some reason, is the one that sticks out to me the most, because it's one of those movies where it might be the only way you can get people to buy it, is if it's in this set. I think I Guess Who's Coming to Dinner 4K could kind of sell on its own pretty well. You gotta have a mix. You gotta have like one or two titles in there that are like great and historical that people love, and then a couple titles in there that are like must-haves, like Taxi Driver or something like that. So you gotta find the balance. That's the thing. We're into the 70s now, which is arguably the greatest decade in American cinema. 2 years in a row again. 1978, we have the Best Picture nominated Midnight Express. This one seems right for some reason. I think this one is going to be in there. It's basically coming up on its 55th anniversary, right? It's good timing. It's good timing for that movie to get a solid 4K upgrade, and it's a great movie. Then the following year is another one I can't not see being in this set now that I've written this list down. Best Picture winner, Kramer versus Kramer. Another fantastic movie. You can get it on Blu-ray, and it's an old Blu-ray, so it's due for an upgrade, but the Blu-ray was actually really high reviewed quality-wise, so I think it would be a fantastic 4K, even though it's a pretty down-to-earth film. But that's another one where it's like, you can't deny that one. That's a classic. That's like the be-all, end-all classic Best Picture winner. That could easily be in this set, in my opinion. Next, from 1981, we have Das Boot, a foreign film, which makes it a little weird, but it's a classic foreign film that a lot of people have seen and know about. I don't think it'll be in the set, but it wouldn't surprise me if it wasn't. That seems like one they would do on their own for some reason. 1990, it's the only movie from the 80s I have. That's weird. 1990, we have Awakenings with Robin Williams and Robert De Niro. That could be in there. I don't think it's going to be the 90s pick, but it's a possibility. 1991, Best Picture nominee, we have Prince of Tides with Nick Nolte. Another one that's like, I could easily see it being in there, but I could easily see it not being in there as well. 1997, so here's one that wasn't nominated for Best Picture, but it was nominated for a few other Oscars. The People vs. Larry Flint with Woody Harrelson. This is one I could see being in the set easily, but it's like not a high priority one, but it would be a great movie to have on 4K, and I actually really like that movie. So that is it for the 90s like dramatic Oscar-y movies I have written down. 2000s now, we got Aaron Brockovich from 2000, Best Picture nominee. This one is very Jerry Maguire to me, so I could easily see it being in the set. I kind of hope it isn't, because I just bought it on Blu-ray finally. But I would not be surprised if that was in this set. And then 2002, we have David Fincher's Panic Room. Wait a second. That was announced for 4K like a bajillion years ago, and then it magically got taken off the calendar. I have a strong feeling that although it's not a Best Picture movie, I think that's going to be one of the movies in the Columbia Classics. It just makes sense at this point. They had it already, and they were like, hey, we should put it in here, because we put Social Network in the last one. Let's put Panic Room in the Columbia Classics season 3, volume 3. So I think Panic Room is in there. It's going to be the non-Best Picture nominee / winner dramatic film. It's not the comedy Odd Duck movie, but it'll be in there. 2005, Memoirs of a Geisha. It's a pretty movie. It definitely would look good in 4K, but I don't think enough people care about it to shove it in that set, personally. On to the Aught 10s. 2011, I have two movies. Moneyball which I fucking love, would be a fantastic 4K. It already has a 4K restoration Blu-ray. So in theory, there's already a 4K restoration of this film in existence. How great is it? We don't know. So that might be an easier one to put onto a 4K disc, and it would look good. And I love the movie, so I would be more than happy to have that in the set. 2011, again, another David Fincher movie, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which is another one that was kind of hinted at for 4K, but never happened yet. This one, I doubt they would do both Panic Room and this. I think Panic Room is more the sure thing for some reason, because it's already essentially like ready to go. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is more just like a tease. So I think I will say X Neon Dragon Tattoo. That might be an individual release, or hell, it could be in volume 4. This one, I hope, is in the set. 2012, Best Picture nominee, so it fits the description. Django Unchained. I thought about doing Zero Dark 30, and then I looked into it, and there is already a 4K of Zero Dark 30. But for some reason, Django Unchained does not have a 4K, alongside most Quentin Tarantino movies. Get this goddamn movie on 4K. I don't care how. But that would be an amazing Best Picture nominee 4K from Sony Pictures. That is more modern to have in this set. And the last one, the most recent one I included, because most movies after this have a 4K, or just really don't deserve one at this point. Captain Phillips from 2013. I'm not the biggest fan of Captain Phillips. I'm more than happy with my Blu-ray I got for like $5. I could see it being on 4K and it'd be fine. But compared to Django Unchained, Moneyball, and Dragon Tattoo, it's dead last in my list of things I would want on 4K, or in this set for that matter. So we got Django, Panic Room, Kramer versus Kramer, Midnight Express, and between Guess Who's Coming to Dinner and A Man for All Seasons, I want to go with Man for All Seasons. So we've got 2 Best Picture winners, 3 Best Picture nominees, 4 Best Picture nominees, excuse me, because Django Unchained. 1 Panic Room, which is a great movie that everyone likes, that is going to come out on 4K at some point, and it's a Sony movie. And The Odd Duck. This is the fun one. I mean, they're all fun to me because I'm a dork. I have written down here a plethora of films released by Columbia Pictures, any of which I would love to see. You have any Adam Sandler movie, essentially, after his first few movies with Universal and Wedding Singer, which was New Line. Basically anything after that, Columbia Pictures did it. I doubt it would be an Adam Sandler movie, because I don't know what the hell one you would put in there. Big Daddy, maybe? That's like the least bad one. So, once again, chronologically, as much as I can here, I have Used Cars from 1981 with Kurt Russell from Robert Zemeckis, the Back to the Future makers. It's one I could see going in or out. Like, it's not like a beloved great movie. So I think it's in the maybe pile, but I would be very surprised if they chose it. 1985, one that had Twilight Time release. A lot of these had Twilight Time releases, even if I didn't mention it. One that everyone and their grandma in the horror community wants on 4K, Fright Night. I highly doubt it's going to be in a Columbia Classic set, but put Fright Night on 4K. I don't care. 1996, I have The Cable Guy, which would be a very weird thing to put in here, but I would fucking love it, honestly. Because I love Jim Carrey, and it would be awesome to get Cable Guy in 4K. It's a very visually interesting movie. You could throw Josh and Sam in there. Just skip DVD and Blu-ray, just go straight to 4K from VHS. A movie that 7 people saw in theaters, and only Brian Goes Blue knows about. You've got Blank Man in 1994. That won't happen, but please release it on Blu-ray. Booty Call in 1997, right? That's another one. There's a winner. Hollow Man from 2000 with Kevin Bacon. That's never going to be in this set. But please release Hollow Man on 4K, because I want it. But seriously, I have a couple that I really think could be in this set. A more modern comedy, Superbad from 2007. Everyone likes Superbad. It's probably the most recent comedy that I've loved and rewatched over and over again. Like, I can't think of another comedy since Superbad that I've liked nearly as much as Superbad, except for maybe MacGruber, but that's not nearly as good of a movie. It's just so stupid and fun that I love it. But yeah, that's the last like genuinely good, hilarious comedy that I can think of that I would want in a set like this, that I think people wouldn't be like, what the hell, for it being in there, because it's just a great comedy. Everyone likes it, and it's like 15 years old now. So it's a perfect time. It's aged. It's perfection now. But the one I think it is, which is from the 90s, which now that I look back on it, is a decade I did not choose a movie from, so this would work out perfect. Groundhog Day with Bill Murray, I think would be fucking brilliant on 4K in this set. It obviously he's in Stripes, but if you think 90s comedies, Groundhog's Day is one of the best easily, and it's one of the most rewatchable. Everyone would love seeing this on 4K. It could be in this set. No one would bat an eye at how great it is or the fact that it belongs in here or not. It fits in there perfectly with Stripes or League of Their Own. So I think it's going to be Groundhog's Day. So, once again, here is my final 6 for the Columbia Classics, Volume 3. We've got A Man for All Seasons. I'm going to count them on my fingers because I'm an idiot. Midnight Express, Kramer versus Kramer, Panic Room, Django Unchained, and Groundhog Day. Please make that happen, and I will buy it so fast. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
Talk, shop, pop, movies.